All right, good morning, and thank you for coming this morning. I'm excited for the season. We have like 18 days till our very first competition of the season, so it's here. So we're really excited. We have 9 returning All-Americans, 4 of them of which are defending national champions, and we've got 7 freshmen and 4 transfers that have been a great addition to the team. We've been so grateful for the opportunity and that we get to train every day in the brand new Goshki Wrestling Training Center. It's been nothing short of amazing. It's a top-notch facility, the best in the world. And yeah, our women enjoy it. I enjoy it. And I guess I'll welcome any questions. So.
And then we do have mics, so if you could raise your hand, state your affiliation.
Morning. You've quickly established Iowa as kind of the premier program now in the country, winning a national title the first year. The basic question, what do you do for an encore?
For an encore? Oh, yeah. Well, it's Iowa, right? I'm grateful, we're grateful that Iowa has women's wrestling, and encore is, how can we continue to get better and do the same, I think nothing really changes in that regards is, I really try to have our women not think about the outcome. Yes, we want to win. That's definitely the goal. That's what we talk about is winning those matches at national duels, national championships. But at the end of the day, let's just get better at wrestling. So.
Not every day that you bring in an Olympic medalist. What has Kennedy added to the room, and what was the process of kind of getting her here?
Kennedy's awesome. Like I said, it's Iowa. She's always wanted, her and her sister were the first to come on a recruiting trip, right? And in the landscape of women's wrestling, how it's emerging sport, she went a different route for her first 2 years. She went to Arizona State. They don't have collegiate wrestling for women's wrestling. So she did the club route, and she really wanted to be part of a program, part of a women's team. She really liked watching what was going on here. And so that process was very, I don't know, it's, I wouldn't say easy, but it was easy in some regards. She's been great, she's been part of the team and got to know new people on the team that maybe she didn't know. She's been teammates with a few of our women that's already on the team. Reese Lermandy and Ava Bayless, they came from Wyoming Seminary together. And so it's been great, having her in the room.
Eli McCowan, Des Moines Register. Last year, one of the things that I asked about at Media Day was last year you come into the program and it's you didn't have that person that had been in the program for 4 or 5 years as a brand new thing to be hey, this is where you go to this or to go do that, or have that leader in the room. And kind of talked about last year needing that next leader, who were those people going to be. But last year seemed like it was a collective effort from the group, and that it was a tight-knit group, and there maybe wasn't one person or 2 people. It was a collection. So what does that do for your program when you have a collection of people that kind of lead the charge more or less, and it's more of a unit rather than one person?
That's a great question, Eli. I think really the first group who are currently juniors have really embraced this opportunity and now in their 3rd year to lead, our newcomers. I mean, we got 11 newcomers, and they've done a great job, wrapping their arms around the newcomers and bringing them along and showing them the way. The things that they had to figure out and learn for themselves, they're now being able to offer advice on tutors and who to reach out to and all the little things that I don't know about, and as being a student athlete. But yeah, I think that, when you have more leaders that see themselves not bigger than anyone else, it drives the whole program forward together, and a nice thing to watch. So.
I guess just on the flip side of that question, you have a bunch of new freshmen coming in this year, and a lot of them I know throughout the year are talking with you guys, the coaching staff. Like there's a lot of them you put on a 5-year plan. Like you're going to be here for a bit to go through that process. But what have been your impressions of the freshmen so far, and who's kind of stood out amongst that group?
Oh man, the freshmen are hungry. I definitely feel like they know our team, like who the upperclassmen are, or the sophomores and juniors. And they knew that coming in, and they wanted to be a part of a program where iron sharpens iron. You know, they wanted to be a part of the program regardless if they were the starter or not. But they weren't going to sit back. You know, they want to be the starter. You know, so they want to challenge. You know, knowing we've had 6 national champs and 12 All-Americans at that time. You know, so it just levels up our room, really, and just challenges each other on a daily basis. So.
Jake Olson, Daily Iowan. You were talking about the earlier recruits that you've gotten in and the new faces that you've brought to the program, some of them being very, very regarded across the country. What does that say about you and the culture you've already brought to Iowa just 1 year in?
Say it again, sorry.
With all the new transfers and high recruits, what does that say about the culture that you've already established at Iowa with getting so many high recognized talent to come here after 1 year of establishing it?
I think, I think they want to be a part of something bigger than themselves, and I thank the community and the fans and the supporters of the program, because, our women do feel like they are fighting for something bigger, and I think the new people, the transfers and the freshmen, they want to be a part of that. So.
John Steppe with the Gazette again. It seems like Lily left with somebody that we saw a lot of improvement from last year. Kind of how have you seen her continue to improve since then?
Oh man, Lily is great, and she continues to improve because she wants to improve, right? She's that young woman that is just eager to learn, eager to grow, whether it's technically, tactically, mentally, emotionally, all of it, right? Just the conversations, and she's just going to continue to get better. She's now in a room with, getting training with Macy Kilty on a consistent basis. When you get an opportunity to wrestle with a world senior silver medalist, it's like you have no choice but to learn and grow. So.
Tanner Lefevre, HawkeyeReport.com. You guys overcame a lot of serious and significant injuries to contributors during and before last season. I was curious, how's the overall health of the roster entering this year, and is there anybody that you expect to be limited or out as you guys start the season in a couple weeks?
Yeah, so far, good, right? As far as good can be for injuries within our sport. We unfortunately won't have Nyla Valencia again this year. She suffered an injury this summer at a training camp training for U20 Pan Ams. And then Haley Ward is out this year as well. She got injured at national championships, this last college national championships this year. But overall, our team is ready to go, and we're excited. So.
Owen Sebring with KGA, and last year, the times you got to be at Carver Hawkeye, I mean, there were so many fans here for you. I know I've seen you getting honored down on the football field. Just how much have you felt the support from this fan base in the university? Because there's a lot of places where a first-year program, maybe first-year women's wrestling, wouldn't get that kind of support. But how much do you feel the Hawkeye fan base in the school has really supported you guys this first year?
Best in the world. That's all I gotta say. The best in the world. The fans are amazing. I don't know any other place where over 8,000 people come to watch women's wrestling at our first home dual meet, that, or a quad. That was special. And I continue to hope that people will still come out and continue to support our women. And, and there's a lot of people who didn't know what they were watching in freestyle wrestling, and it was a great opportunity for them to see our women compete. at an international rules, like different than the men, right? So they're having a different experience than a men's duel. But yeah, I think the fans are the greatest right here at Iowa. So.
J.R. Ogden from the Gazette. What is the status right now of women's wrestling nationally? And does it really matter if there's a D1 or D2 or NAI next to their name?
I think I don't know if, like you're saying, if it doesn't really matter if there's a D1, D2, or D3 next to the name of the institution, are you saying? Or, yeah, I think it just depends on the individual and what you're looking for. I think personally it matters for how the sport is growing. I would like to see more D1 programs. I would like to see more D1 programs at the Power 5 or Power 4 conferences, whatever we're saying these days, I'm not sure. But really just opportunity, right? If you meet our women, they are so grateful for the opportunities they get to be able to get prestigious education and high-level training and the support from the community at this level. It's like major differences between D1, and I came from an NAIA school, but like, yeah, I think it does matter. I would love to see more D1 Power 5 conferences adding women's wrestling, because there are a lot of high-level wrestlers out there across the country, and now with possible roster caps, they're gonna wanna go somewhere where they can get a great education and compete at the highest levels. So.
Tanner Lefevre, Hawkeye Report. You guys had a unique experience of bringing in the Ukrainian women's national team this time last year. I was curious, what did you like about how that experience kind of prepared your team for the season? And have you tried to replicate that in any way this year, obviously without the benefit of having the Ukrainians here with you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. It was awesome having the Ukrainian women here. I mean, on that team, one of them eventually became an Olympic medalist, bronze medalist, and one made it to the bronze medal round. So that high level, right, opportunity that our women get to get their hands on, right? We don't have to travel overseas to get those international fields. But more importantly, it's the relationships we build with each other, right? That's the thing that I enjoyed about wrestling the most, is meeting people from all over, right? All over the country, all over the world, and building relationships and understanding, each other, right? Different cultures, right? Ukrainian, what they're going through. It wasn't easy for them, the Ukrainian team, to be here, but they were really grateful to be here. And what I mean was, obviously what's going on back home, is the hard part, of during their time trying to figure out their training plan leading into the Olympics. And I was grateful that they were able to come and stop here in Iowa City and train with our team. Right now, currently, we actually have a Canadian team here training with us this week. Coach Tanya Verbeek, her partner coaches at Brock University, and it's been a great week so far having them in the room. They've got a few people training for U23 Worlds and non-Olympic World Championships, just like we have a few on our team training for that. So it's a great opportunity to collaborate and work together and push each other, to get better, because at the end of the day, it's about those experiences and like working through those different challenges in different fields. So.
What have you seen at 145, where you have Reese coming back as a national champion and now Macy coming in as well, and already out there as well?
Yeah, no, it's been great. This is the last year we can have 15 at college nationals, and honestly, it's been great. When Reese was training for the U20 Worlds, Macy and Ella were there in individual practices to help Reese get better or get ready for the U20 World Championships. So it's been great. It's not easy, how do you continue to elevate the bar is what it is. How do you raise that bar within the room and within and still keep making sure that we're still on one team, right? They've been great. They've been working well together, and I'm excited for the growth of both of them. So.
One of the freshmen last year one of the freshmen coming in this year, I should say, Carly Brooks, had a really good summer in some of the international and national training tournaments. I guess, what have you seen out of her since she's been on campus, and what you kind of like about her as a wrestler?
Oh, she's fun. Like her just athleticism and her agility, and she has a different style that maybe is different than a lot on our team. The way she moves, the way she competes. She's been great for our middleweights, lighter middleweights, as far as just getting, that in our room. That's an area I feel like we can continue to develop those weight classes, and she brings a lot to fill in for that weight class. So, yeah.
You mentioned U23s and non-Olympic Worlds coming up. What have you seen from the trio of athletes that you're going to be taking over there in a couple weeks, and specifically Kylie, who kind of made a debut on the senior level at a really early age, and now gets a chance to go back this year at 72 kilos?
Yeah, I feel like Kylie's hungry. She her goal was Olympics and fell short of that, and she's hungry and eager to take this opportunity at U23s. Macy Kilty, this is her last opportunity at a U23 World gold medal. She took second last year, and so that's on her mission, right? To go get that, be on the top of the podium. And then for Sky Reeland, great experience for her. She represented Team USA this summer at U23 Pan Ams, and having another opportunity to go and compete and get after it at the world level. So excited for all three of them. And it's nice to have Hawkeyes in 3 of the 10 weight classes, at the U23 Worlds. So, yeah. Thank you.